Coach, when you sub Kevin Dowdell in the bottom of the ninth, what are you looking for out of him?
A homer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's capable of doing, and it was pretty conducive to that matchup. And it wasn't just a homer, but it was a really, really calm at bat in a big moment, which is, we try and get guys to do that all the time. That actually was a really good game. We didn't play bad. We pitched pretty well, only had 2 walks, struck them out about 14 times, played good defense, got 9 hits, just left a lot of guys on base, but we played pretty good. They played pretty good. They were super excited to play against us, rightfully so. What an awesome experience for these kids to come up here and get to play us. And, every one of them is just counting the outs. When you get into 8th inning, it's like 6 more to go, 5 more to go. You count right down to the last one. So that was fun to watch their excitement. I say that now, but I appreciate them coming up. We don't get to play teams from the state very often, and when we do, that's a pretty cool experience for everybody. Those kids will remember this game probably the rest of their lives.
Is it kind of tough to prepare for a game like this? You had it on Monday, and they drive up, and they're still one of the top teams in D2.
Yeah, I told our guys they are at their level like we are at our level. They hosted a regional last year. They were ranked in the top 15. They're winning a lot at a high level, and that's what we've done lately. So that was just a microcosm of what we've been doing in this program. So, they're a good team. We knew they were a good team coming in, and I believe after watching them, they're a good team.
Was this the way you had your pitching plan to go, a set number of innings for a couple guys to see how they were going to respond and get them some work?
Yeah, we had to. We couldn't afford to sacrifice any innings this weekend, win, lose, or draw. We were going to win, lose, or draw with the guys that pitched tonight. We didn't want to use Braithwaite and Braithwaite might have to throw 3 innings on Friday. You never know. So didn't want to spend him, and Noah Short didn't want to let him go too long. Same way with Chase Smith. Those guys are all ready to go and give us as many innings as they normally do on Friday.
Coach, I hear what you're saying about it being a well-played game on both sides, but you guys are just coming off a series where you guys had scored 20 runs over the last 2 games. So to come in here and play this low-scoring kind of game, is it surprising at all to see the offense go like that after it had been so hot over the last week or so? Or
it's just you win games by getting hits with runners in scoring position, and that's what we didn't do tonight. And to be honest with you, we haven't really done that a whole lot this year. We beat Kansas the other day by hitting 3 solo homers with 2 outs and nobody on base. We need to get hits with men in scoring position, and we're just taking too many pitches, and it's just it's like being on the free throw line with the score tied and with a minute to go. There's a little more at stake when guys are in scoring position, and sometimes that situation gets the kids, and you want to look for the guys who can really calm themselves down and get hits regardless of where people are.
Did you flip it around a little bit in order? I mean, with Aiden going a little bit longer and your first 2 guys you had up going 2-1, is there any strategy behind that?
No strategy. It's just, Major's been starting the last 2 midweek games, so he was capable of throwing more pitches than the other 2. 2 innings for Watson and 1 for Kilker, and 3 or 4 for Major was just about how we had scripted it.
Out of pure curiosity here, the challenge on Weatherholt's steal at second in the 9th, did you have a feeling he was safe, or was this just, let's just see what we get kind of call?
I knew he was safe if they were willing to apply the rule. So I knew he was safe, but I didn't know if they were willing to apply the rule or not. So fortunately, that's textbook obstruction at second base the way it played out.
Looking ahead to the weekend, Coach, Texas, they're struggling in the conference, just got swept, but they still seem to be hitting the cover off the ball. What are you looking out of the Longhorns?
We just need to we just need to play a really, really clean game all the way around. We have to, if we don't play great on the mound or at the plate or on defense, they can abuse you. You know, they could literally have the first team all conference player at every position. They're that good. So we need to, if we get a guy on second and third base with one out, we got to find a way to get those guys in. We can't leave guys on base. We can't make errors. We can't get thrown out stealing. We have to play really, really good baseball this weekend.
With pitching aspect, strategy-wise, how do you go at a guy like Glenn does for Texas? I mean, he's obviously probably one of the best power hitters in the country, and he commands respect, I would imagine. From your side, how do you guys,
Yeah, we've had success against him in the past, but I actually think he's a better hitter this year than he has been in the past. And you'd like to think you could pitch around him, but the guy behind him is just as good as he is, and the guy behind him is just as good as those two. So you can't afford to pitch around anybody in that lineup. You just got to hope that your pitchers are throwing good pitches, and they're not seeing it all that well that day. But they're so dangerous from the first spot to the ninth spot. You can't afford to give them free bases. Can't afford to make mistakes in the middle of the plate. They'll just punish you.
Off topic, Coach. Alec got his 5th start in the majors this year. Have you been paying attention to what he's doing?
Yeah, watched him some last night when I got back from fishing. It was in the 5th inning, and yeah, he's been unbelievable. But to no surprise, as I knew he was that type of guy that could do that. He's the type of guy that'll pitch better against the Yankees than if AK would have pitched in a game like this tonight that against the Division II team. You wouldn't have seen AK at his best. He gets excited at the biggest stage, and that's hard to teach a kid to do. But he's just got that in his blood, and he'll always be that way.
did you catch anything?
I always catch something. That's one of the dumbest questions you've ever asked.
On the Weatherhole play, when you said the obstruction, did his knee come down and block is that kind of
You're
what?
not allowed to block the base at all prior to receiving the ball.
I see, okay.
Unless the throw takes you into the baseline. But it was a perfect throw.
Right.
So if he is blocking the base before the ball goes in his glove, that's the definition of obstruction. I haven't seen the replay, but that's what it looked like live.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Good.